Miss the Ghostwriter Phenom Book Doctor in here. Let's get her in here. Yes, we want to add Charlie to the video live stream. Chef Season 2, Episode 1. Let's go. We're adding you right now, Charlie. Give it a moment. There she is. Oh! Good evening, Miss Charlie.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm very well. How you doing today?
I'm okay. So I was on my laptop. I wasn't on my phone.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. The icon wasn't showing up on my laptop, but as soon as I switched over to my phone, it was there. So I appreciate everybody being patient. I hate being late to things. I'm officially 14 minutes late, and that gives me so much anxiety. So, but I'm glad for your patience, and I apologize completely. So
no, it's awesome. We're glad you're here. You're repping that Cheftorious. Look at you. Everybody,
right.
check out that shirt. Hey, big heart buttons for the shirt. And the band, she pulled out the Royal Teddy. Big hearts for that. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, listen, y'all. Charlie's a good friend, and you know, basically lifelong friend. We've been known each other for a long time. Friend of the family and a big supporter of Cheftorious. So I just definitely wanted to say very, very much thank you, Charlie, for all the love and support you show to Cheftorious. We love you over here. We appreciate all of that. So I want to get you started on. Please tell everybody what it is and what you do.
Well, I am a ghostwriter. I also edit books, and I do what's called book doctoring. So essentially, I can, you know, if you have any books already out there, any kind of speeches, any, you know, kind of work that you're going to be presenting, I can basically edit anything for you. For ghostwriting, I write books for other people. So, which is, you know, kind of fun. I specialize in memoirs, and which I'm very passionate about because I'm very curious about these stories of other people. And I think that everyone has a story to share, but not everyone knows how to share their story or write it or put it down. And, you know, that's where I come in. And I think it's very therapeutic in doing that. And book doctoring is kind of, you already have a book out there, but it's not quite up to par. So I kind of take a look at it and, you know, rewrite it for you, share any ideas I may have to kind of get it ready for publishing. So that's the short of it.
So basically, you're like a genius with the wordplay. Is it fair to say?
I don't know. That depends on who you ask, I suppose.
Well, how did it all start? Where did your love for the writing and the reading and books, where did that come from?
Well, I've always loved reading as a kid. You know, my family dynamic was quite interesting, and so reading was always kind of an escape for me. I got more involved in writing when I was in high school and then in college, and I excelled really well writing academically. And, you know, I just happened to take a creative writing class, and, you know, I had to write some poetry and short stories and stuff like that. And I was kind of like, wow, like I think I can do this. And I was doing public speaking at the time. So I was working with a speaking coach, Jennifer Samuel Chance, shout out to her, she's amazing. And with coaching with her, she kind of helped me realize that I'm better suited for writing, specifically helping other people tell their story. So it was kind of a journey over the course of a few months in working with her, going from public speaking to more writing. You know, I told you I'm very nervous about being in the spotlight. It makes me very uncomfortable, but so it's always kind of nerve-wracking for me. So writing kind of lets me be behind the scenes and helping out other people. So
yeah, I get you on that. And just to touch on something that you did say, I was going to mention it further into the interview, but let me tell you, shouts out to the speech you did, I think it was last year, the year before, for your graduation.
Oh yeah. I was the commencement speaker for my class. Yeah.
It was
Thank
strong.
you.
It was
Thank
strong,
you.
girl.
Thank
Let me
you.
tell you,
I
I was like,
appreciate that.
woo, gave me some goosebumps. Let me tell you. So
Yeah.
listen, Charlie knows what she's doing when it comes to that stuff. Believe me, believe me.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
okay,
you.
as a kid, then, what was like your go-to book as a kid?
Man, it's so hard. I kind of just read, I was really big into Greek mythology and fairy tales when I was younger. So all that fantasy and, um, you know, mythology and all of that, I just really love all of it. And I love it when I can read something mythical or fantasy related and there's some truth written into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
'cause I'm kind of I love psychology, and that was my first passion, was like psychoanalytical psychology. So I'm very curious about the mind and how people think and why they do the things that they do. So whenever, I would read stuff like that, I'd be like, go digging for more information as to what prompted them to do this or why this was the way it was. So it's more of a innate curiosity, I suppose.
Why do people hate our curiosity?
I don't
Do you get
know.
this a
I think
lot?
they're
Because I get this a lot, where I'm similar, where I want to know why people are doing this and what's the detail behind that. Why'd you do that? And then when I'll ask the question.
yeah,
Well, why
yeah.
are you asking so many questions? Why are you asking so many questions?
Yeah.
Why can't it just be because I wanted to? But it's not just, it's never that simple,
It's
right?
not,
Right,
no.
right. See, so I just wanted to know if you got that, because people get so
Yeah,
frustrated with me.
I think people are easily jump to the defensive when you ask questions and kind of prying into someone's personal life. They're not really, they always assume the worst in people. So I think it's like, oh, well, why do you want to know about this? Are you going to use it against me? So they're
Right.
immediately on the defensive and guarded about, their lives or things they did, when genuinely, like, I'm really, to your point, I'm like really curious. It's like, okay, like, I get you did it, but like, why? Like, what was your thought process? Like, I always say, like, I want to take someone's head and, like, crack it open like an egg and, like, sift around to find answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's why people are just always on the
Yeah.
defensive, that, you're out to hurt them or, cause trouble or something.
Wow. It shows what's really on their mind, huh? Mhm.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask this then, because I real quick off of the interview, this season we're kind of getting towards other topics off of food, not so much food, but we're still keeping it food funky. We lost Charlie for a second. Hold on, we'll bring it back. Hold on, we only lost for a second. Just Wi-Fi stuff, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. Wi-Fi stuff happens all the time. Just Wi-Fi stuff.
Sorry.
So, I want to know, what's the favorite snack, and is it allowable to snack during reading?
One of the absolute worst things about writing, not so much reading, because when I'm reading, I'm like in the zone. I'm usually enthralled in the story. So I'm not much of a snacker when I'm reading, but when I'm writing, that's when I start snacking, because it's like it's like a creativity thing. It's like you're writing and you're snacking and you're writing and you're snacking. And I'm the worst at snacking. It used to be so uncontrollable. I'm like, I could just eat snacks all day. I have the biggest sweet tooth. I don't necessarily, if I have a go-to snack, it's probably anything that's just small, that's easy to eat without causing a mess.
Okay.
But it can get pretty bad. It can be like anything. It could be like a sleeve of Oreos, or, some Lucky Charms cereal, or, like anything ridiculous that, I can just get my hands on and eat quickly, and, popcorn, like, so it can really be anything. Like, I really love, like caramel popcorn, or, God forbid you put a bunch of French macarons in front of me. Like, I'll just eat those like they're candy. Like, I'm a huge pastry lover in general, and So it's like anything small like that that I can just eat while I'm writing.
I
It's
like
a
that.
habit I'm trying to break out of. So
Okay, well, it's not a bad habit, but is it breaking some kind of forbidden writer's law or anything like that to go ahead and have you some ice cream or a sleeve of Oreos while you're writing or reading?
no,
It's
most
okay, right?
writers do it. Every writer does it. Every writer that I'm friends with on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, they're always talking about writer snacks. It's like a big thing, and you see people that share pictures with piles of just like different snacks. They're like, oh, getting ready for a day of writing, and it's just like aggressive amount of snacks. So it's definitely a thing in the writing world.
Awesome, awesome. We got a few of the last season guests watching. You got Chef DeQuan and Chef Tony's here. Chef Nate was there. Chef Tony says the sleeve of Oreos, that's totally his thing right there. The sleeve of Oreos,
Double
that's all.
stuffed
He's all over that.
Oreos, man. Double stuffed Oreos.
Double stuffed Oreos. That's what's up. Um, can we talk a little bit about the family life?
Yeah,
First of
yeah,
all,
go
you
ahead.
have one of the most beautiful, photogenic families I've ever seen. It's freaking ridiculous that
Thank
you
you.
guys aren't
Thanks.
all over Hallmark cars all over the world. The Patricks,
Thank
the
you.
Patricks are
Thanks.
freaking ridiculous. You guys are royalty. And Ryan, right? Your
Yeah,
husband Ryan,
Ryan.
he's retired from the Army, correct?
Yes, yep. Retired last year as a colonel, so
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Oh, thank you, Colonel, for your services and for keeping us safe always and keeping us free and safe. Thank you, Colonel. Can you touch a little bit on was there any difficulties with Army life? Because I know sometimes you can get moved around place to place. Was there any difficulties with the Army life colliding with your writer's life at all?
Well, I didn't, you know, as Ryan was winding down with the military, that's when I started to get more involved with writing. So there wasn't really a conflict there, but in general, I think you don't really know what you're going to get into marrying someone who's in the military until you're like in it. And, I never envisioned myself as a military spouse or, if I can be honest, a stay-at-home mom. So, which I was for the majority of our relationship in the beginning when my boys were really young. And I always felt like everything I wanted to do kind of took a back seat. So, which is hard. It's hard if you never expect that and it happens and you make the best of it. And we moved around quite a bit. It's kind of like the running joke in the family because in the last 2 years alone, we moved 3 times. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but we're in St. Augustine now, and we're building what will be our final home until we retire, though we've said that before, I guess. But this is it for real, because we're too old to be moving around. It's time to be
Right,
settled and
right.
kind of stop moving the kids around. But
The kids
so
want a
right,
tree house for Christ's sakes.
but
You
I
can't have a
didn't.
tree house if you keep moving around.
But I didn't get into writing till almost 2 years ago, and I decided to finish my associate's degree. So when he decided to retire from the military, I'm like, okay, it was just before the pandemic hit, and I'm like, I'm going to finish my associate's degree. And that's kind of what I started with. And I did communications and public speaking for my associate's degree. And now I'm currently working on my bachelor's of English in creative writing. So that all is very recent. I've only been doing it for the last couple of years, which is great to kind of be doing something that I genuinely love. And for the first time ever, I feel I'm really good at able to kind of focus on me. And, my family's, super supportive, and I'm kind of just finally doing my own thing. So it's nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, can somebody light up the heart button for that? Woo! Do you know how hard it is for a mom and a military wife to do what she's done? And she went back to school. She's keeping the dream alive and just building and building, getting better and better and better. You go, Charlie. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, hold on. I'm going to have to give you one of these. Charlie's Angels. Do it, Charlie. Do it. Good stuff. So listen, I want to go here with you. your boys are still fairly young.
They're 11 and 13, and then my daughter's 4 years old. So
I thought she was younger than 4, so maybe she might know a little bit about where I'm going to go with this.
Okay.
Have you brought any of our generation's children's games to your children, like the musical chairs or you know, red light, green light? You ever mess around with the kids and do that stuff?
My kids have been playing those games like forever. Like, I think it's something that, like a red light, green light or something like that. It's like, oh, they come home from school and they're like, oh, you know, I'm playing this great game and, you know, let's do it. And it's like, whoa, I've been playing this game since I was like, you know, 5 years old. Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, what? I don't think so. So when they come up with those games or anything like that, like even with music, you know, they're like, you know, my son is listening to, you know, the Beatles, or, you know, he just did, you know, a report in school where he got really into some Bon Jovi songs, and he's like, listen to this song. And I'm like, you know how old that song is? So it's like they're discovering all these things that like we already knew about when we were kids, but it's like so new to them. And it's like, please, like, come on.
Right.
Like, you know, I've been doing that forever.
You're not that cool. You just found this out today. Slow it down.
Look, get off your high horse, buddy, because
I had to know because with my kids, I'm always messing with them and bringing you know, some of our nostalgia to them now. So as a kid, what was one of your favorite games in school? Was it the Duck Goose? Okay, now I'm gonna give you an A or B. What was better, Duck Goose, or was musical chairs more fun?
Man, I hated musical chairs. Like the anxiety, and maybe it's just me, but I hated having to get a chair like after, like, you know, like the music stops and you're running around and it's like all this ain't like, I'm just like, so if I had to pick, it's definitely Duck Goose, you know. But
musical chairs was violent.
It was.
It's violent.
Pushed off chairs onto the floor, and then chairs are being taken away. And like, how does your little brain process that at a young age? It's like, it's one chair. Why are we fighting for one chair? You know, this is why our generation has anxiety, because of games like this, you know. So
that's why we all loose.
Yes, we're all crazy. It's like, why are we anxious? Why are we depressed? Well, look at musical chairs. You know, I was bred for this kind of thinking, you know?
Oh, now I don't have a seat. My life's over.
It's like, Chef Tony said, go away.
Chef Tony said that taught him hockey. Chef Tony said that taught him hockey before he learned how to play hockey. Yeah, exactly. I fell in love with him.
Out of the way, you know?
What happened for me? For me, Duck Goose did it for me because in the 5th grade, and I hope a few of my classmates that are on Facebook are watching this and they remember this story. In 5th grade, in Mr. Baker's class in Brookings, I think, Norman Gasson. Norman was in my class. It was Norman, Jamie Serrano, all of them. I got a bone to pick with all of them because I have this very bad phobia now with people touching my head. Because Duck Goose, I have my head down, but Mr. Baker made all the kids hit my head. All the kids just goose, or whatever it was. Something. All I know is at the end, my head was hurting because 30 kids slapped me on top of my head.
Yeah. And they hit hard. Fun, but they were like, it's not a tap. They'll go by and they'll be like, pow, you know, and it's like, telling you, man.
It was fun. It was fun when you got to do the slapping.
Yeah,
that was fun when you got to do the slapping. No, but okay. Now back to some food things. Now I did have a question about the food because I noticed throughout the years, watching you and your family when you guys post some fun stuff on Facebook. Come holiday time, you guys will make your pies. You guys will make your cookies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What is the most festive holiday meal you do for your family?
Man, I try not to do any anymore, if I'm being honest.
You better stop it, Charlie.
No, hear me out. Ever since Ryan and I got together, like we would always host, the holidays, whether it was Thanksgiving or Christmas. And though it was completely my fault, I would kind of take the wheel, and whether it was with the turkey until he started frying turkeys and making all the side dishes and getting all the desserts and stuff like that. And, and doing it, for so long, you kind of get burnt out doing that stuff. So the last couple of years, I don't know if I'm going to get hate for this or love, we'll see. But for Thanksgiving, we started going away with a friend of mine and her family that have boys the same age. So we're just like, you know what, screw this. Like this year we went to Cancun for the week of Thanksgiving at an all-inclusive resort. Yeah, yeah. And, last year we went somewhere closer in Florida because it was our first year. We're already planning for next Thanksgiving. So we're just kind of out of here for Thanksgiving. We're like, let's not cook. Let's not worry about it. For the holidays.
I'm gonna put my pinky up to Cancun and Thanksgiving.
For Christmas, though, we could never bail on Christmas because it's Christmas. Not that we would want to, but we got into the last couple of years. We got into baking more with the kids, which is an experience in of itself. But we wanted to get into more like making cookies and baking cakes and pies and stuff like that. So. Ryan really enjoys frying turkeys, and he'll do this crazy brining and rub and stuff like that and like let it sit, and then he'll fry it. I'm really good with the side dishes, whether it's, the mac and cheese, whether it's the, potatoes. My mom was really huge with the canned cranberry sauce. Sorry, no other way. Don't give me any of that fresh stuff. It's the canned cranberry sauce, 100%.
All right.
But yams with the marshmallow topping and like the stuffing and the mashed potatoes with gravy, and so whenever we host the holidays, I'm always of the mindset the more the better. Like I could have just the 5 of us, and I will cook a meal for 20 people because I don't want anyone left hungry. So. Yeah. Right. So that's kind of how we do it for Christmas. And there's like an excessive amount of, desserts. We always have like 3, 4, 5 different kinds of desserts, whether it's Christmas cookies, whether it's gingerbread houses, whether it's pies, whether it's, any kind of cake. We'll do the eggnog with the rum, not for the kids, but, eggnog with the rum.
Why not take some?
Peppermint hot cocoa spiked with vodka. It's a good time. That's right. Yeah.
Hold on, man. Is my wife still here? Did she leave for work? If she hears you say peppermint cocoa with vodka, she's gonna lose her mind. So that is her thing.
Good. So
good. Okay. So Charlie, did you and Ryan, did y'all get the peppermint vodka with the bottle and the scratches and all that stuff? My wife went crazy. She bought like 8 bottles of peppermint vodka at the store. Oh my God, we went nuts.
Just one bottle. But we'll do like the candy, like we'll crush up candy canes and kind of dress the top of it and make version ones for the kids, but it's like this whole big production, and we have, Santa mugs specifically for it and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Hold on, Charlie. Hey, baby, I'm going to make you some peppermint hot cocoa with vodka, okay? Love you. I'm going to tell her that came from you, too. I'm going to say, my girl Charlie, she gave me that idea.
So good.
That's dope.
Just be careful. Be careful with the peppermint extract. You know how strong that stuff is,
Oh, I'm getting mine straight from Chef Tony and Bike Club. I'm calling Chef Tony, and Chef Tony gonna hook that up. He's gonna make sure we all good with that peppermint extract now. Well, listen. I wanna piggyback on Thanksgiving in Cancun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback that with what's your most desired family vacation destination?
Oh man. I feel bad because I don't have like any solid answers for you for any of these questions.
Oh no,
I want to go everywhere. I never traveled when I was younger. Even like I've never been out of, I've never been to Europe or anything like that. And my goal these last couple of years is being smart with planning vacations, especially with the kids, and bringing them. I just want them to experience more of everywhere. Cancun was kind of, we needed something quick because previous plans fell through. So we're like, oh, let's just go to Mexico. But they'd never been, and they really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. But not this year, because my husband and I are actually going to Italy by ourselves in June for a friend's wedding. And the following year, we're going to plan to take the kids on a tour through like Ireland and maybe Britain and just kind of like a tour of all those countries and
all those
which
beautiful Greenland countries.
Yeah.
I'm a little jelly right now.
I think the number. Well, we haven't planned it yet. We got to budget and pay and figure it all out. But but it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen.
That's what I'm talking about. It's gonna happen. Listen, I agree with you. It's gonna happen. Me and my wife, we're making our. Sorry, I got a hair stuck in my eyeball or something.
Okay.
It's really annoying. But no, we're planning our honeymoon for Paris. And,
nice.
So
nice.
I'm with you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie and Ryan, Italy. Johnny, Sean, Paris. It's happening.
I want to go. I want to go everywhere. I want to go to Alaska and see the aurora borealis. I want to. I want to go to like some desert and look up at a sky full of stars that's unobstructed by city lights. And like, I want to see amazing and dynamic things that we don't get to see a lot where we are. So that's kind of how I think about it. The more we can expose the kids to it, and get them out there. I'm very much a foodie and I love any kind of ethnic food. My favorite is Thai and Indian, like I love Japanese food, and I want them to experience all of it, so.
Sounds kind of cheesy for a family vacation, but I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of dying to take the family to Grand Canyon.
No, that's not cheesy because, it's a great spot. We looked at the Grand Canyon, but my daughter was too young for it. So, but it's, how could you not want to see that? It's a wonder of the world, and you got to see that stuff at least once,
At least once. I think
that's a great idea.
At least
once.
That's
a great idea. Yeah. Go to Las Vegas while you're at it, just hop over.
I'll never stop that. That's all. Vegas is always welcome to my travel list. Vegas is always welcome, man. A few of the chefs now are watching. As I told you before, a few of the previous guests, they're watching as well. A few of us, we're trying to develop some cookbooks.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Now, everybody, chefs, all the chefs that are watching, pay attention. Here we go. This is the question y'all been waiting for. So, great book doctor, please let us know. How do we get started?
How do you get started? Well, you got to start with the product. I think when people talk about writing books, they start to overthink it. They're like, well, what does the public want? Like they think about like what their what do you call it? Their niche might be, or I can't think of it right now, but they're always thinking about like the public and like what can I put out there that the public will want to read, and they forget that you're a unique individual. You, with everything that you do, Sean, you have a lot to offer people in just like what you cook, and your personality is so huge and wonderful, and we need more of that. Like, you're not afraid to be who you are, and even when you post your recipes and you do your videos, you have to think about that when you want to write a book, whether it's a memoir, whether it's a cookbook, whether it's a sci-fi fantasy or something like that. Just be unique to who you are. And I know we talked about possibly your cookbook a little bit, but get in there the recipes that you want people to have, whether they're basic family, whether they're extravagant, like fine dining, Michelin star rated type of recipes, like because if you can put out something that's unique based on who you are, then that's what's going to be successful. But you have to get it out there, and a lot of people are just afraid to put something together. So I think once you have the product, even if it's a bare bones, hey, this is here are my recipes. This is the little anecdote or story that I wrote for my recipe. I have about 10 of them right here. What can you do with it? And, you know, my job as an editor and book doctor is to get to know who you are, figure out your voice, get to know your personality, and then look at what you give me and make all of that kind of work together. And then I make suggestions. Well, this is really great. I love what you did here. But over here, it's like you're a different person. So who are you? Are you this person or are you this person? Let's figure that out, because we want it to be cohesive, you know? And I think if you can get your personality to show in your writing, then with your stories, with your recipes, then it's going to sell itself, because people see that. They see that authenticity, you know, because, you know, anyone can write a book. They're self-publishing these days, you know, and people pick up on, you know, the public picks up when people are not genuine. And that's the biggest thing. You know it, because, you know, you'll see people on Facebook and you'll be like, you know, I don't think so. Like, this guy, no, this is not his life, you know, he's all Instagramming and, you know, like, he's never been there, you know. It's like people, because, you know, there's so much fake on the internet these days. But, you know, you're like, no, screw that guy. And now you're like jaded and you're like, I'm never going to read or watch anything this guy does. He's a total phony, you know?
Right.
So I think the first thing is you got to get something out there, and you can't be afraid to just throw something together or even have an idea. Be like, these are my recipes. This is the theme I want the book to be. What can you help me with? And that's how to start. So.
Well, conquer that fear. Chef Nate, Chef D, Chef Tony, I know y'all watching. Chef Nate, he just said it, Charlotte. I want to write a book. And I know Chef Nate does. Chef Nate and I, we're very close, and we have some projects we're working on together. So I know he definitely does want to write a book. So Chef Nate, I hope you were listening to Charlie's advice there. You just got to put it together and be you. Let your personality shine through what you're writing. And then once you're done, send it to Charlie so she can edit that thing.
So I can criticize it and tell you what it needs, right?
Yeah. Because Charlie, the last time you and I talked about my cookbook, I was 3/4 of the way done with my recipes. My recipes are done. I'm focused on like an outro. I'm trying to be myself with it, but the perfectionist in me is kind of stressing it too much. Like you said, I'm stressing it a little too much. What are they gonna think? Oh, well, what I said in the intro, I kind of got away from what I was saying in the intro on why I'm giving them a cookbook, and now I'm getting away from it. So,
but see, that's what I help with. Yeah,
I'm probably gonna just send you that paragraph. I'm gonna send you that paragraph of the intro and what I plan on doing the outro with, and you doctor that thing for me. All right. Oh, don't forget, Charlie, all your social media, your website, your Twitter, whatever you're using, please put it in the comments under the video so everyone can go check you out. Everyone can send you their work and doctor up their books that are out there, or get some help to release some books. I gotta get you. I want to see you flourish. Okay. Now
I'll put it in right now.
I got one more thing. I know you're super busy, and I told you I wasn't gonna keep you too long.
I got time. I got time for you, Sean. I got time for you.
Got time? All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hey, light up that heart button for the time. Let's go. Now, another question that it kind of, when I think about a writer, I was always curious about this, about the writer. What do you do when you hit the block? How do you break that wall? I know everyone's different. I know everyone's different.
Yeah. You know, you just got to step away and clear your mind, because there have been times, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but what helps me also with creativity and writing is I actually listen to music while I'm writing, which I don't know if some people find weird, but because you would think that the music distracts me from writing, you know, especially if I'm listening to music I enjoy. But the music when I'm writing just kind of fades in the background, and it kind of just gets my creative juices flowing. So I'm not actually listening to the music, it's just kind of there, but it's helping the creative process. But there are times when I've been writing for a few hours and I'm like, oh my God, my brain is like fried, like I can't think. And then you start writing like, you know, BS, you know, and it starts to, yeah, flounder. And I'm just like, oh, this is shit, you know, pardon my French, you know, it's awful, you know, I got to stop writing. So you have to stop. Or else you're just wasting time at that point, you know, and you just gotta walk away. Yeah, sorry about that. You got to walk away. So clear your head. You know, you could walk away for an hour, walk away for 2 hours, walk away the rest of the day and be like, I'm too fried. I can't even think about this anymore. And just be honest and take a day, take 2 days to kind of reorganize your thoughts and kind of rethink and, you know, refocus yourself. And that's the best advice that I can give is just, like, if you find that what is coming out of you is garbage, like, just stop, because you're wasting your time at that point, and it's just adding more frustration, and it's a hit to your self-confidence. You know, you're like writing and it's becoming garbage, and you're like, oh, I can't do this. Like, why can't I do this? You know, and it's like, you can do it. You're just fried at the moment. You know, you're mentally drained, and you need to walk away, and you shouldn't feel bad for that. You know, and I think a lot of people don't understand how long it actually takes to write a book. It takes, depending on the book, it can take, you know, if I have a fresh idea as a ghostwriter, you know, I tell people it can take 8 to 12 months to write a book.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's a process. Wow. Ghostwriting is not just throw me some ideas. Like, I have to get to know you as a person and get to, you know, we have to be able to have like a good rapport. Like, if I don't have a good rapport with you, I can't write a book for you. You know what I mean? Like,
so,
you know,
so we can kind of line that up with like what an actor may have to do when he's playing like an autobiography type of part, like a biblical biography part. I mean.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, but then for book doctoring, you know, that can take anywhere from 4 to 8 months, depending on what it is and what we're doing. And, you know, editing, if it's just an editing job, depending on what type of editing is, because there's different types of editing, it can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So it's not an easy process by any means. And if you're, you know, having trouble, you know, writing or anything like that, just understand that just because I'm a writer doesn't mean it's all like so easy. You know, it's not like, hey, let me sit down and write this book for you. Boom, it's done, you know. It was definitely a process. So, but I also am here to coach people. You know, if you have some ideas and you don't necessarily need me to write or fix anything, you can say, hey, can you read this for me? And I'll do like a manuscript critique. Like, you can send me your book, and, you know, from an editor and public viewership perspective, like, I will tell you, okay, this is what's good, this is dragging, this is what you need to fix. And, you know, and that's based on, you know, how the reader may take it, or just from an editing perspective for the rules of writing. So I do that also. And it's, you know, it's a manuscript critique of your book or anything you happen to be writing. So, and that doesn't take that much time, but I'll write up, like, it's like, you'll get like all this information about it professionally and stuff like that. And it will help you kind of move along in the process and see where you stand. So I do also.
Listen, I'm shocked right now. I'm almost a little speechless because you're telling me this, and I'm just like, wow. I'm really feeling like this is very strong information for beginning writers, for writers that are struggling, for those of us that are bullheaded and think, I can do this writing thing, and we're in the middle of it and we're dead ass stuck.
Yeah.
The information you gave today Honestly, no, you brought me further than what I thought we were going to go. You brought me further, and I definitely feel like you've helped out many more people than I thought we were going to touch today with some of the writing stuff. Charlie, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Oh, I love you so much, my friend, and thank you for being a great guest and for being the first episode on season 2 of Cheftorious.
Start off that year strong, Sean. Start off the year strong, I guess. Right?
And we are. We're doing this. We're good friends. We're doing this together in our friendship, and we're gonna take off. There's plenty of room at the top of that mountain where we're going.
I agree.
Paris is not that far from Italy.
Yeah, there's room for
not that
everybody, guys. Don't be detoured. If you want to put something out, whether it's a book, whether it's a podcast, whether it's these Facebook Lives, like there's room for everybody. That's the one thing I learned when I got into public speaking is everyone's unique. Everyone has their own way for doing things, and there's always an audience for you. So
that's right.
Real quick, my website is cwpatrick.com, and you'll also find all my social media links on there. So I would love a follow. Check out my site. Feel free to email me if you have any questions or shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm here to, help and answer all your questions. But this was a lot of fun. Even though we had a rough start, I think we're ending with a bang. So that's always good, right?
Listen, Charlie, I told you we were going to have a good time, girl. I told you. You listen. Nobody could tell you had anxiety or none of that stuff. You did great, girl.
Fake it till you make it.
Those
questions. Fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah, fake it till you make it. We did good. Listen, you gave a lot of information. Listen, you helped out some of my chef friends because a lot of them, they want to start podcasts and they want to write books.
Absolutely,
and, And, I tell everybody,
just do it, man. Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. Hey, even our mutual friend, Deanna Martinez. Yeah. Look at her.
She's a rock star.
Just do it.
She does everything. You know what
I
mean?
Everything.
She's a jack of all trades, that woman. Like, I'm amazed, like everything that pops up for her.
And that's what we do here. I love this at Cheftorious. It's all about this, Charlie. We connect and we network, and then we find out, hey, we're working with some cool people.
Yeah. Well, listen, let me just say, if I can, the one thing that always stopped me, so before I got into writing and public speaking, I was a photographer. I did photo editing. I was a makeup artist. I did special effects makeup, which I incidentally very much love. But I never made the full commitment into professionalism because I was afraid. I was afraid that I wasn't good enough. And when I got into writing, it was the first time that I was like, you know what? I'm jumping. Yeah. I'm closing my eyes and I'm jumping. I'm taking the risk. If I fail, at least I can say I tried. And writing has been the thing that I've been most confident that I can do very well. So hopefully that doesn't sound too
no
egotistical. But my point is with writing, finally I was just like, you know what, I'm going to be 42 at the time. I was 41, 42, and I just need to do it. Like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here just worrying. You worry. Just jump, because if you have the support, you have the friends, there'll be a net for you, man. You just got to jump and close your eyes. And there are people out there to help you. When Sean and I have known each other since high school, actually. We both grew up Springfield, Massachusetts, off of Bay Street, man, some crazy times in that neighborhood. But I don't know if you lived off of Bay Street. But I did, and it was interesting, to say the least. But, when you and I first started talking, it was just kind of like this it's funny how people end up becoming solid friends and family, because Sean and I, we would just talk here and there and, comment on each other's stuff. And, our relationship over these last couple of years alone just kind of flourished and, developed. And, I don't know if sometimes people look at our dynamic and like, oh, how do they know each other? You know what I mean? And it's like, aside from, going to high school, and even in high school, we really didn't talk to each other. But now it's like you're a very dear friend of mine, and I'm here
Yeah.
for you. And any advice you need, you know that I got your back. So I think
Wow.
if anyone's afraid, just understand, you got that support system, and, you just got to go for it, because, it's not, you're always not always going to have this opportunity, and time is fleeting, and just do it. Do it. That's
Like you
it.
said,
The end.
Charlie, just do it. And aside from anything, what I really want people to take from what you just said, aside from anything, is that while we're all trying so hard to voice ourselves and express ourselves, also trying to monetize off of our talents and our expressions because we have to take care of our family.
Right.
Still, you never know where you're going to find a good friend.
Exactly.
You never know where you're going to find a friend. And it just so happens we basically known each other for all these 43, 44 years of life. But just recently, we became a friendship. It was always acquaintances, but now it's, like you said, it flourished. And it all started just from the fact of, at some point, we both said, screw it, I'm just going to do this. And then it
so
led to a friendship.
I'm sorry. There's a question down here from Greg. Any advice on becoming a private chef? And, I don't know if I can really speak to that, but I will say you just got to, it sounds silly, but you really just got to start marketing yourself as one. So when I first got into writing, I made my own website. I, wrote all the material on it. I just went guns a-blazing, set up all my social media accounts, and I just, at the very beginning, I started marketing myself as a professional writer, ghostwriter, editor.
Yep.
And I was like, again, fake it till you make it, right? But now, aside from freelance work, I also work with a publisher out in DC. So, I'm actually writing a novel for their publishing company, and hopefully it will lead, it will lead to more, but I eventually also want to publish my own book. But,
Damn right.
You have the confidence, start marketing what you want to be that person. Don't let people tell you you're not a private chef. You know what I mean? Start hosting events. If you have friends in the area, see if they can set up dinner parties. Have them invite 20 people to their house, and you do that event for them and cook and get business cards or what have you. And you know what? And hey, I'm a private chef. Let me know if you need me for any of your events. If you want to be a private chef, you are a private chef. That's who you are. Start marketing yourself as one.
I ain't even got to say nothing else to that, Greg. You heard Miss Charlie. Just go do it. And Greg, what I will say to Greg, because Greg's a good friend of mine. I met him through Chef Neftali. They're great friends. Greg, you are a personal chef. I told you this all the time. I would like to get you on Cheftorious and interview you, talk to you about what you do outside of food. Greg, you are a chef. Just go do it. Start telling people you are a private chef, because that is what you do. Get with Chef Neftali. Have him feature you. Have Chef Neftali feature you on one of his events one day. And there you go. I'm pretty sure he will. Y'all brothers too. All right? Miss Charlie, my sister queen, thank you so much. Oh, can you do me a big favor? Can you just tell all the ladies out there how your Cheftorious shirt feels and how it's good and all that stuff?
Let me tell you, this is some fine quality, 100% cotton material. And, I have very sensitive skin, guys. So, it doesn't itch my skin or anything. Very comfortable to wear. My husband has his shirt. He wears it all the time. Sometimes he throws it on for motivation in the kitchen. He's like, I hear good things about, Cheftorious Sean Slater, and this, motivation right here. We have our aprons. You saw, I got my little bear right here that my daughter absolutely loves, and I had to steal it from her today because she was sleeping with it, and hopefully she doesn't find out that I stole it, because she'll be very upset. But all your merchandise, my friend, is on point, and I think everyone, go buy it. That's
And
it.
how easy was it for you to navigate the website and make your purchase? How
I bought
easy
it in
was
like 2 minutes, and I got it like in 2 days. It was crazy. Like,
Yeah,
all I had to do was think about owning it, and it was at my house. So
that's
that's
what
how
I'm
easy
talking
it was.
about, Charlie. You tell him, girl. That's my good
That's
friend
right.
Charlie, y'all. Cheftorious season 2, episode 1. It was a bang, Miss Charlie. Thank you so much.
Rough start.
Feel free. You want to give a
Excellent
shout out?
ending. So yeah. Huh?
You got any shout outs you'd like to give?
No. Oh man, anyone that was able to watch live, you're amazing. And seriously, any questions about anything, hit me up. Facebook Messenger is a good one, or you can email me. My email is on my website, and I'm very responsive. If I have a question I can't answer right away, I don't mess around. I don't bullshit. I set expectations. I'm a straightforward person, straight shooter. Hopefully you can see that, considering I've already, I swore online, which is not good, but,
But you're real. You're real, and that's what we do. We do the real.
So any questions, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask me. I'm here, so.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Cheftorious, season 2, episode 1. Success, baby. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Miss Charlie, have a good one. Much love and respect, and big hugs to the family, to Colonel Ryan. I appreciate his service, and thank you for keeping this country free. And to those beautiful babies of yours that are growing up into beautiful young men and a beautiful little girl, much love to the Patrick family.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Have a good one, Charlie. I'll get with you soon, girl.
Okay. Thank you.
Peace out.